Most New Yorkers believe bedbugs come with cheap motels or cluttered apartments, but a silent invasion has pushed this city to number 2 on the nation's infestation list. Hotel chains now deploy specially trained dogs, yet even luxury penthouses have become battlegrounds against these nearly invisible parasites. How did an ancient blood feeder outsmart our city, and why haven't we noticed until now? Inside New York City's hotels, the illusion of safety is thin. In 2024, the city landed at number 2 on Terminix's list of the most bedbug-infested cities in America. That ranking is not based on rumors or isolated horror stories. It comes from thousands of pest control service calls logged across all 5 boroughs. The problem is not limited to budget motels or rundown buildings. Even the most reputable hotel brands are on constant alert. Night after night, rooms that look spotless to the naked eye are swept by handlers with trained dogs, noses tuned to the faintest scent of a single bug hidden in a mattress seam or behind a headboard. The use of canine inspections has become standard in high-end hospitality. These dogs can pick up a single live bedbug or egg, detecting what even the most careful housekeeper might miss. In Midtown, a single detection can trigger a shutdown of entire floors for deep treatment. But these measures are a response, not a solution. The bugs keep coming back, hitching rides in luggage, clinging to the seams of a guest's coat, or burrowing into the folds of a suitcase. Travel itself is a main artery for infestation, and New York's status as a global crossroads makes it an easy target. Each day, tens of thousands of visitors pass through airports, train stations, and hotels, each one a possible carrier, each room a potential starting point for a new outbreak. The city's density turns every building into a possible relay station. A single infested suitcase can seed an entire hotel, spreading from room to room through cracks, electrical outlets, or shared laundry facilities. In some cases, hotels have invested in heat treatments and freezing technologies, hoping to outpace the bug's relentless adaptation. But the numbers tell a different story. According to pest control professionals, the volume of bedbug-related service calls in New York has risen steadily since travel rebounded after the pandemic, with no sign of retreat. Luxury is no guarantee. In the past year alone, reports have surfaced of bedbugs discovered in penthouse suites with panoramic views of Central Park. The price of a room does not buy immunity, only a slightly faster response. Even the most exclusive addresses have quietly brought in canine teams after guest complaints, hoping to contain the fallout before word spreads. Behind the polished lobbies and crisp linens, there is a constant, invisible war being waged, one that most guests will never know exists until it is too late. The city's hotels, once symbols of comfort, now serve as the front line in a battle that slips past every velvet rope and bellhop. What is happening in these rooms is not just a hospitality problem, it is a warning. The same vectors that move bedbugs through hotels operate in every corner of the city. Luggage, clothing, and even briefcases become vehicles for an invasion that ignores class and neighborhood lines. The threat is everywhere, hiding in plain sight, waiting for its next ride. On the Upper East Side, a penthouse apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows and a private elevator became the scene of a battle that money could not win. The owner, a financier accustomed to instant solutions, brought in a veteran exterminator after waking up with unexplained welts. The exterminator, with 30 years in the business, inspected the suite's imported rugs, custom furniture, and silk drapes. His verdict came quickly. He said, "Money doesn't protect you. I've seen worse infestations in penthouses than in shelters." He pointed to the telltale signs, rust-colored stains along the mattress seam, a faint, sweet odor, and clusters of eggs hidden behind the headboard. In the walk-in closet, he found shed skins tucked into the corners of designer shoeboxes. The resident had spared no expense, hiring a private cleaning crew and a second pest control team before. Still, the bugs had survived, burrowing deep into cracks in the wooden floor and the joints of the bed frame. The exterminator described how bedbugs in these buildings can move behind walls, traveling along electrical conduits and even through ventilation shafts, reaching other apartments without ever being seen. He had once drilled into a baseboard and watched as dozens of bugs poured out, scattering for new hiding places. In luxury towers, the infestation does not stop at one unit. Shared walls and heating, ventilation and air conditioning systems create hidden highways that let bedbugs spread from penthouse to studio, floor by floor. The exterminator's experience in high-end buildings revealed a pattern. Residents often mistake bites for allergies or blame the cleaning staff, delaying real action. By the time professionals are called, the bugs have established satellite nests in nightstands, picture frames, and even inside electrical outlets. The exterminator recalled a case where a $10,000 mattress was thrown out, only for the bugs to reappear days later from a nest behind a wall mirror. He explained, "They hide where you never think to look. I found them inside the seams of window shades and the hollow legs of dressers. In these settings, embarrassment leads to secrecy. Neighbors are not warned, and building management sometimes downplays the problem to protect property values. The result is a slow-motion disaster. Infestations leap from apartment to apartment, unchecked." The exterminator's advice is blunt. He said, "It's not about how much you spend, it's about how fast you act and how honest you are with your neighbors. Otherwise, you're just buying time." Luxury, it turns out, offers no shield. The bugs adapt, the nests multiply, and the cycle continues, hidden behind the polished doors of New York's most exclusive addresses. A packed theater on 42nd Street, the kind that draws crowds every weekend, once closed its doors overnight, not for a broken projector or a rowdy audience, but for something that left management scrambling and patrons itching. In August of 2010, the AMC Empire 25 in Times Square had to halt screenings after moviegoers reported bites during shows. Inspectors found live bed bugs in 2 seats, setting off a chain reaction that rippled through the city's entertainment world. The incident was brief, but it exposed a weakness in the city's shared spaces: fabric seats in dark rooms, cleaned between shows, but rarely inspected for what hides in the seams. The news spread quickly, and the theater's reputation took a hit, even after pest control teams declared the area clear. For months, rumors swirled about which seats were safe, and ticket sales dipped as the story stuck in the public's mind. The problem did not end in the theater district. Across the city, subway riders began swapping stories about mysterious bites and phantom itches. While official logs from the MTA are tight-lipped, transit unions have pushed back against claims that bedbugs are just a rare nuisance. In 1 month alone, 21 sightings were reported across multiple subway lines. Trains on the N line were pulled from service for fumigation, and operators quietly worried that upholstery and crowded cars gave bedbugs the perfect cover. With 8,000 trains running every day and more than 5 million riders moving through the system, a single infested seat could become a mobile nest, traveling from borough to borough before anyone notices. Offices have not escaped unscathed. In 2025, a major corporate campus in Chelsea logged a confirmed bedbug case after sniffer dogs found evidence on several floors. The discovery led to a round of treatments and a tense round of emails between facilities managers and staff, some of whom refused to return to their desks until the all-clear arrived. Workplaces that once prided themselves on open seating and plush lounges suddenly faced a new kind of labor dispute: union representatives demanding regular inspections and written guarantees of pest-free environments. For many workers, the risk was not just a bad day at the office. It was the fear of bringing something home that could upend their lives for months. Institutions have tried to downplay these incidents, often framing them as isolated or quickly resolved. But the pattern is hard to ignore. Public spaces, places designed for comfort and community, have become potential minefields. A night at the movies, a daily commute, even a day at work now carries a hidden risk. Each seat, each shared cushion, becomes a question mark. The city's battle with bedbugs has moved far beyond bedrooms and hotel suites. Now, every public seat is suspect, and the boundaries between private and shared risk have blurred into one long, uneasy line. Bedbugs in New York have become more than a nuisance. They are now a biological puzzle, outpacing every chemical weapon thrown at them. In the lab, entomologists studying the city's infestations have uncovered a disturbing truth. Most bedbugs here can survive direct exposure to the very pesticides that once wiped them out. Standard sprays, especially those based on pyrethroids, barely slow them down. In sample after sample collected from apartments, hotels, and public buildings across the 5 boroughs, researchers find the same pattern. Bedbugs that should be dead after treatment crawl away unharmed. The explanation lies in their DNA. Under the microscope, scientists have identified mutations known as knockdown resistance, abbreviated KDR. These tiny changes, like V499L and L925I, alter the bug's nerve cells so the chemicals cannot take hold. Instead of being paralyzed by the spray, the bugs keep moving, feeding, and breeding. Bioassays from regional labs confirm that resistant strains dominate New York's population. While the exact percentage shifts with each new batch, field studies suggest that up to 88% of the city's bedbugs show resistance to at least one major pesticide group. Exterminators who once relied on quick chemical fixes now face bugs that shrug off the same treatments that worked a decade ago. Bedbugs have also evolved to survive in ways that seem almost impossible. Some can go more than 400 days without a single blood meal, hiding deep inside walls, furniture, or floorboards, waiting out starvation and cleaning crews alike. Females lay up to 500 eggs over their lifetimes, and a single survivor can restart an infestation weeks after the last spray. Their ability to detect carbon dioxide from across a room lets them zero in on sleeping hosts, even after months in hiding. These survival strategies make traditional control methods obsolete. Do-it-yourself sprays from hardware stores, once a first line of defense, now offer little more than false hope. Professional exterminators have shifted tactics, turning to heat treatments that raise room temperatures above 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or to cryonite, high-pressure carbon dioxide that freezes bugs and eggs on contact. These methods target all life stages, sidestepping the bug's chemical armor. But they come at a steep cost, often requiring specialized equipment and multiple visits. Even then, total eradication is never guaranteed. In buildings with shared walls or old construction, bedbugs can escape into adjacent units, only to return once the coast is clear. The city's infestation is no longer a matter of poor hygiene or bad luck. It is a contest of evolution, with bedbugs adapting faster than the science meant to stop them. Each wave of resistance leaves exterminators and residents scrambling for new answers, while the bugs continue to multiply in the shadows. Behind every failed treatment is a genetic arms race, playing out in bedrooms, boardrooms, subway seats across New York. On a quiet block in Brooklyn, a family lost nearly $10,000 after a bedbug outbreak swept through their 6-unit building. Mattresses, couches, and even cherished heirlooms ended up on the curb, wrapped in plastic and marked for disposal. The landlord, citing vague city guidelines, delayed action for weeks, insisting the problem was isolated. By the time a professional crew arrived, 3 more apartments were infested. Insurance provided nothing. For tenants, the financial hit was only the beginning. One resident described nights spent awake, convinced every itch signaled another bite. Even months after treatments, she found herself compulsively checking sheets and seams. A city psychologist who has counseled dozens of victims says the trauma lingers long after the bugs are gone. We see symptoms like insomnia, hypervigilance, and even panic attacks. For some, it is almost indistinguishable from PTSD. Studies estimate that up to 30% of treated cases see the bugs return, fueling a cycle of dread and second-guessing. Policy failures compound the misery. In 2010, New York's Bedbug Advisory Board proposed reforms and funding for rapid response, but most recommendations were quietly defunded. Landlords still exploit loopholes, shifting blame or dragging out repairs. For renters and owners alike, the cost is measured in more than lost sleep or ruined furniture. It is an erosion of trust, security, and peace of mind, with no real safety net in sight. City records show just how widespread the problem has become. Since 2017, New Yorkers have filed 43,834 official bedbug complaints through 311. That number breaks down to over 12,700 in Manhattan, nearly 11,500 in Queens, more than 10,600 in Brooklyn, and 8,500 in the Bronx. Even Staten Island, with fewer than 500,000 residents, has logged over 400 cases. These figures only scratch the surface. Many infestations go unreported, especially in neighborhoods where renters fear retaliation or where language barriers block access to city resources. In 2014, city surveys estimated that 5.1% of all households were affected, with some neighborhoods reaching double that rate. Knowing the scale is only the beginning. Survival in a city like this means vigilance. The warning signs are subtle: rusty or reddish stains on sheets, a sweet, musty odor near the bed, tiny pale eggs in mattress seams, and pepper-like specks of bedbug droppings along baseboards or behind headboards. Itching or welts that appear overnight are a red flag, but not everyone reacts to bites. Inspect luggage after travel, especially if you have stayed in hotels or taken the subway. Avoid picking up furniture from the street, no matter how clean it looks. Seal cracks and crevices around beds and baseboards, and use mattress encasements designed to trap bugs before they spread. Early detection is the best defense. If you spot any of these signs, ACT quickly. Call a licensed pest professional and report the problem to your building management. In a city where the next outbreak could be just a wall away, information and speed are your best allies. Tonight, as millions sleep, pesticide-resistant bedbugs move unchecked through apartments, transit seats, and offices, immune to old solutions and thriving in the city's shadows. Their spread isn't slowing. With resistance rates in New York now among the nation's highest, every ignored infestation becomes tomorrow's outbreak. In this city, vigilance isn't paranoia, it's survival. Let me know your take in the comments below.